Welcome to this first session on C# multithreading. In this session, we are going to learn basic thread creation of an independent thread as well as a thread on a thread pool. The first thing you need to do to use multithreading is include this namespace called system threading and then include this namespace called system threading tasks. The function we are going to launch on a thread is called perform thread. It doesn't return any value, neither it takes any parameters, and it prints a line called hello from perform work. Then next function is perform work pool. It takes one parameter of called state of type object, and this function just prints hello from perform work pool. We need this function for launching a thread on pool because the functions that launch the thread on pool require this function to take one parameter called state. We are not going to make use of this parameter, but still we need this parameter to satisfy the function signature. Now, coming to this first thread creation, we are going to print line launching thread using thread and thread start. So in this, we are going to create we declare this variable called thread t. We are going to create new thread and we are going to pass it parameter of type thread start, and to the constructor of thread start we are going to pass a reference to this perform work function. And after we create the thread, we are going to actually start the thread, and then we are going to sleep for one second because we don't want the next thread to start immediately after we create the first thread. If we allow that, all the messages printed by the thread will get intermingled, but we want clear messages in clear sequence so that we can understand the thread creation. So that's why we are introducing this sleep. So we learned this first basic thread creation. Now if we look at the second box, it's basically a little variation on the first one. Here what we are doing is we are creating a thread, but we are not creating thread start because the thread start is inferred by the compiler. We are just passing a reference to perform work function, and the thread start is automatically inferred by the compiler and passed to the thread. And then we are going to start the thread just like before, and we are going to wait for 1 second. Now the third block is again little variation on the previous block, wherein we are even simplifying things further. In previous two blocks we were first creating the thread and then we were starting the thread explicitly by calling the start method, but in this block we are calling the start method on the same line as we are creating the thread. So this is the simplest way of creating a thread. It's just done in one single line. Now going forward, in this block we are creating a thread using a delegate. So this is the delegate which doesn't take any parameters, doesn't return any value, and we are just printing line hello from delegate on the thread, and we are starting that thread. This is essentially the same variation of the same method as above, but instead of passing a function reference, we are creating anonymous delegate and we are launching that on a separate thread. Similarly, in the next block, instead of anonymous delegate, we are creating a lambda expression. This expression doesn't take any input parameter, doesn't return any value, and it just prints a single line. And we are passing this lambda expression as a parameter to the thread, and we are starting that thread. Now going to the next block, this is a function queue user work item. So far we have been creating separate threads, but in this block we are creating thread on a thread pool. Thread pool is standard pool of threads created by .NET, and we are just going to use one of the threads readily available to launch our function, and that is what is called thread pool. So in this block we are calling this function called queue user work item, and we are passing it a delegate called wait callback, and we are passing it a parameter perform work pool. Now as you remember, we created this function called perform work pool, which takes one object parameter and prints hello from perform work pool. Now this is what we are launching on a thread on a thread of a thread pool. In the next block, we are doing little variation of the above block. We are just passing the reference to perform thread pool. We are not creating wait callback because it is automatically inferred by the compiler. Now going to the next block, here we are passing a delegate to the queue user work item function instead of passing a reference to a function, and this delegate will be launched on a thread pool. In the next block, instead of delegate, we are passing an expression tree to the queue user work item function, and this expression tree will be launched on a available thread on a thread pool. In the next block, we are using the task class to launch the thread. In previous 3 blocks or 4 blocks, we used queue user work item function to create threads on the work pool. This function is from .NET version before 4.0. So this is the function you would use if you are using .NET before 4.0, but with 4.0 the things have been made easier with this task class. So you would typically use a task class, and you would call this start new method, and you would pass an action delegate, and you will pass a reference to the perform work function to this action delegate constructor, and that will start a thread and launch this perform work function on that newly created thread. This thread will be created on a thread pool. Going to the next block, it's just a variation on the previous block wherein we are not explicitly creating action delegate, but this will be inferred by the compiler. So this will be the simplest method to launch a thread on the thread pool in .NET 4.0 and above. In the next block, we are creating a delegate and launching it on a thread pool using the task class. So here this delegate, which is not taking any parameter and not returning any value, will be launched on the thread pool by this call to a start new method of a task class. Going to the next block, it is simply variation of the previous block wherein we are using lambda expression. We are launching lambda expression on a thread on thread pool using the task class, and that is the end of our program. So these are various methods of creating new threads and launching our code on a new thread. So let's build this and run it. And you would see that it has perfectly created all the threads and executed those as we expected.